All right, guys, if you're there, come back.
Okay, I don't know what happened here. We're back. Thanks. Come on in, everyone. Thank you. This conversation is I'm loving it. I'm just loving it. And then why are you going to turn off the live, Jesus? Stop. All right, guys, come back into the live. I don't know what happened. We had some technical difficulties. It's raining here. And Ericka is Instagramming, living with us from LA, so I'm sure there'll be some technical difficulties, but we ask that you just join back the live with us so we can continue our conversation. It's so good. Ericka's dropping a lot of gems with us today.
Right.
She's letting us in on her life, her experiences.
Yes. We'll let her know we're back.
Yep, working with Sean P. Diddy Combs. So I'm just going to text her. Okay, she's going to come in, guys. So how are you guys liking the conversation, the Saturday conversation that we're having with Ericka today?
That's a good girl chat.
Yeah, it is. And guys, if you have any questions, put it in the comments below.
Right.
And we'll see them. Ericka will see them as well. And
I'm going to grab some hot water.
Oh, there she goes.
She was reading the book.
Right.
She stayed in Miami.
Right. Okay.
Hi.
We're back. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so the live shuts off after a certain amount of time.
Okay.
I'm a big D Nice fan, so I'm like, just log back in. Keep it going.
Exactly.
Keep it going.
This is the longest live we have, so we haven't experienced that yet. But yeah, so we just learned today. But the last thing that we heard you say was that you were reading a book.
The Alchemist.
And if you guys have not read The Alchemist, please, you need it. You have to. I read it probably.
I read it a long time ago. Yeah.
It's a good revisit book because as you grow, you take.
Right.
It's like a parable, so you take new things from the story.
Right.
And my brother gave me the book around Christmas, and I took it with me on this trip. And like I said, I was boycotting work. So I just really went into myself. I spent a lot of time on the beach. I prayed, I meditated, I read this book, and because I needed to find the energy to go back to what I had done in the way that I was doing it and feel more fulfilled, right? I can't have people tell me I don't have a family and, sacrifice what I think is important for what they need. And so I needed to change the way that I approached life and the boundaries that I was setting in my life. And I committed to 3 things in 2014. What I got out of that trip was I was going to freeze my eggs because I wanted the security of making my choice when I was ready. And I was going to get a publicist because I wanted to have more professional speaking opportunities as a marketing expert and, being more of a talking head as an expert. And I was going to write a manuscript, write my book, finally get it done. I had a few chapters done, but I was going to finish my manuscript, which is this book we see here. And
what's the name of that book again?
What Mommy Never Told You. A woman tied to the next phases of life.
Yeah.
It's a real page turner.
Whoa.
Yeah. A good one. So Amazon.com, guys.
Yeah.
Just type in Ericka Pittman and you'll see it.
Post a picture of us after. We'll put the link to purchase her book in the description there.
Thank you very much, guys. And so what came out of it is by March of that year, I had literally done all of those things. I wrote my book, I froze my eggs, and I had a publicist.
Nice.
The publicist actually is a bit of a yenta. She's a Jewish woman, amazing woman. But she's like, you got to get you married. This is ridiculous. There's no rhyme or reason why you don't have a husband. We're going to get you married this year. And I'm like, okay. She calls me and she says, this is going to sound batty, but I have an opportunity for a reality show. Would you be open to doing it? And it was also, this is one key point that I left out in this story. What I decided in Miami was that 2014 was going to be my year of yes.
Amen.
That I was going to say yes to my life and yes to opportunities and yes to my time and yes. So during the course of that 90 days, every single cocktail invite, every date, every new working opportunity, every new project, yes. I just kept saying yes. the show comes up, and I'm like, are you out of your mind? I'm absolutely to do that. But
Like,
I
guy,
said,
you trying to test me now, huh?
but I was like, you know
God.
what? Every single thing that I'm doing is not working out for me right now. So I'm going to do
That's
the
something
opposite of what I was
different,
going to do.
Right.
And so I just said yes. And it was the best decision of my life. Of my life. I have chills thinking about it. It was the best decision of my life. Then that's where freezing my eggs came from.
Okay, nice.
Wow,
Good for you.
Awesome.
And it's great that you were able to kind of activate everything that you kind of put on your plan. And another quote, because I'm a big like Oprah enthusiast, you know, and you know, it reminds me of a quote that she said that you don't get what you want out of life. You don't get what you wish out of life. You get what you believe, you know. So you have to believe kind of what you get, you know, and what you want. And if you have that belief, that means that you have to activate that belief, you know. So it's one thing to believe something, but I don't think that we put the actions behind it, you know. So like if you're praying for something, you have to put the actions behind it.
Faith without works is dead.
Belief, exactly.
Faith without works is dead.
Exactly. So it seems like, you know, you had the ideas of what you wanted to do and you actually did the works behind it to make it come to fruition. So that's excellent.
That's awesome.
And I have this thing inside of me that I'm starting to recognize as a pattern. I think that year and the way that my life manifested in that year was like a catalyst for me to understand the emotional state I need to be in to manifest.
Yeah.
And this thing inside of me, I get so resolved and like sure and indignant about things that I want. And when I get like that, it's going to happen.
You sound just like me.
Happen.
Yeah. No, what's your sign, girl? What's your sign?
I'm in Aries.
Oh, okay. I'm a Cancer.
She's like tunnel vision. Like when she's on it, there's like get out her way. Like,
like once I just see something
focus on it,
and I focus on it, like you better get out of my way because I'm coming right at you and
good
it's
girl.
Gonna hit you. Yeah.
And that's the way to get left.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
Yeah, and you're right. Like you have to be like, I realized through this pandemic that I was unhappy these last few months because, you know, I told you I have a counseling center, so I'm a psychotherapist. I have my own counseling center, and then we have the beauty bar. So I would run from the counseling center to the beauty bar, back and forth. Sometimes I would be at the beauty bar. Sometimes I'd be at the counseling center. I'd be like, "Thank you for calling. Make me over. How may I help you?" I'm like, "Oh wait, no, I'm not at Make Me Over. Sorry."
Wrong business.
Yeah, like I just be so confused, and I would just be on like on autopilot, you know, like you just, you know, and I was
just going through the
motions, and then I realized during this period I was functionally unhappy, like a functional alcoholic. So I was functioning, but I was unhappy, and this season gave me a time to kind of be still. It gave me a time to like be quiet again. It gave me a time to like
listen to your inner thoughts,
listen to my inner thoughts, listen to my heart. And I think that once you're in that place, then it can kind of activate the things that you want to do, you know, and you kind of have to be at that place so you can kind of see what direction you're going to in your life, you know.
Agreed. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
You got to quiet down.
Yeah.
You have to settle down. And you, like people say, I've heard someone say, prayer is when you speak to God. Meditation is when God speaks to you.
Amen. I like that.
And so it's like you have to quiet your mind and let God guide you, or whatever your higher power is. You have to let your energy, you have to let it guide you to where you need to go. One of the other things that I did radically that really helped my life is I've been in this constant state of surrender and flow, and just letting my life sort of mold into what it's supposed to be. Not this rigid timeline of all these things that I thought I was supposed to be doing by now and supposed to have by now and how it's supposed to operate by now. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
you know, life's too short.
Yeah, I got stuck in that. Like at a certain age, you're supposed to do this, you know, at a certain age, you're supposed to do this, at a certain age. And I'm like, no, you know.
Just let God guide you and go with the flow, basically.
It's so much easier.
Yeah. How much has faith played a part, like in your role as, you know, kind of what you do, your career, your life? How much does that play like a role?
Oh, well, faith is the leader of my life. I am wildly spiritual. I always have been. I was baptized 3 times as a child. I believe in like, you know, I was mesmerized by Bible study stories growing up. It's always been very spiritual. I'm not as religious, but I'm very, very, very regularly. I have devotionals and I have a whole life. Have you guys ever heard the song by Mary Mary, It's the God in Me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
So you guys know that song by Mary Mary?
Yes.
Yes.
So if you listen to the words, like, that's really my life.
Really?
It's like, you know, y'all thinking I'm out here flying, I'm getting it and I'm moving. No, this is God. This is all God working. This has nothing to do with me. I'm just following his orders and being my best self when I can. And sometimes I'm not my best self. Sometimes I'm in fetal position under the covers in the dark.
Right. Drop into your knees.
Right. Yeah. I say that all the time. I say, like, sometimes you see, like, when people, like, see you and they hate you, and I'm like, if you knew how much I cried, if you knew how much God is, like, just working in me, if you knew how much, like, there were times where I didn't know how I was going to pay this bill or that bill, or if you knew, like, you only see what you see, but you absolutely don't know, like, behind what you see, you know what I mean?
Behind
the curtains, you know, like the tears, the getting on your knees, the crying, like, Lord, help me, you know? So it's, like, funny how people only see what they want to see, but there's so much behind it, you know?
And I feel like social media also amplifies that.
Right.
Because people only put out the good
things,
you know, they never put out their struggles and, you know, their insecurities and stuff like that. So that plays a part in it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think, but also too, Hindi's, it's also American society. World of what the world is supposed to be like as Americans, and it's all fake. All of it's fake. It's all smoke and mirrors. The American dream is smoke and mirrors. This perfect little life with this perfect little family and this perfect little house and these perfect little presidents, and it's all fake. Right. It's all a facade. And so I think if we can start to get into the nitty gritty of what it really takes to be successful and what type of human being you have to evolve into to be the kind of successful that Michael Jordan is. I don't know if you guys saw The Last Dance, or, you know, Jeff Bezos, right? You know, people are like, I didn't know Michael Jordan was mean. Michael Jordan was not mean. Michael Jordan was focused. And either you were getting on the train or you were getting thrown off the train because the train was moving. That's all that was happening. Right. He didn't hate nobody. Personal. Well, he wasn't an activist. He didn't fight for Black people enough. That wasn't his ministry.
That wasn't his goal.
Basketball was his ministry.
Exactly.
And that's what he leaned into. You know? So it's like, you know, we have to stop with this nonsense about what we believe success should look like, or how we believe successful people should be, or we are offended because these people are not showing up within the construct of what we believe.
It's true. You have to follow and you have to figure out, like you said, what your personal ministry is and what you were called to do. And everyone is called to do something different. You know, I'm going to show God's greatness in one area. You're going to show God's greatness in another area, you know, but it's like we're all members of a body. Like, the hand is no more important than the feet, and the feet is no important than the nose. So it's like we're all working together, you know?
But some people really don't see that.
Ooh, I got chills when you just said we're all members of one body. It's so true. It's so true. You know, when we talk about I am, your I amness is your Godness, right? And we are all made in his image, or her image, in its image. And it's just like, we have to be able to accept people for what they are, from their color to their gender preferences to their, you know, intimacy preferences, whatever, as long as they're not hurting children and animals.
Exactly.
Have at it. If it's consensual and y'all are down for it, then go for it. If that's what you feel like. That is not going to corrupt what's happening in my world.
Absolutely.
Right?
I'm a firm of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the human condition is strange. I don't know why. And you probably can elaborate on this way more than we can, being a psychotherapist. What is up with the human condition? This whole notion that you have these people, they need to see you broken. They need to see you fractured in order to relate. Or,
Yeah, I think it speaks to probably people's own trauma. I think it speaks to people's own trauma and insecurities, you know, and like probably what they've been through, and just kind of reflecting that and seeing that in other people.
Yeah. And needing to
You're going
that because I never. Oh, hey, honey. I said seeing brokenness in other people to make them connect is sad to me.
Right.
Yeah. I never need to see either of you ladies broken. I never need to know any of your hardships to connect with you.
Right. Right.
You know, like that's
and people feel better about themselves sometimes.
Yeah, and that's just plain out awful to me.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think we need to do something better. And, you know, I think one thing that we need to do is like to start in the school system, start implementing some programs that can help. Like when I was at the DA's office, we did this thing called Star Track, where we went in to talk to the kids about, we went into like Far Rockaway, which is a highly like gang affiliated area, neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
And we talked to the kids about gangs, but me and my group, we actually veered off from the gangs topic, and we started talking about other things like self-esteem and, like the color of your skin. And, we talked to the girls, we talked to the boys. So we kind of veered off topic to talk about things that maybe their families didn't talk to them about at home. Maybe the information they're not going to get in their schools, but information kind of like something that mama should have, told you type of thing. Should have told them. Exactly. So I think it starts with our children being informed, having some psychoeducation about themselves, about other people, about, mental health. I think that there's not a lot of information, in the school systems about that. And that's something that I kind of want to do. I don't know in what level, but kind of go into the school systems and at that early age kind of help kids work in their minds, work on their self-esteem, how they see themselves, how they see other people. I think that if we can get kids to see it, from a young age, they can grow up to be adults that, are able to kind of understand these ideas.
Yeah, I think they're incorporating meditation in a lot of school curriculums as of late. I know they're doing it in some schools in Maryland, and I feel like there are a couple of others.
Oh, really? What's the name of the curriculum you mentioned? Meditation. Oh, that's nice.
Meditation. Meditation. And I feel like they're, the guidance counselors of the schools that they're implementing them in are seeing less outbursts and violent responses and aggression. The children are a lot calmer. And I just think to your point, we need a little bit more psychoeducation in the school systems early on to help people cope. Right. I don't know if you guys heard me.
You're freezing up a little. Right. Can you hear us?
You're freezing.
Yes. I can hear you. Can you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're right. If we can, target children earlier, that's a great idea. Kids need to learn to be
all right with quiet. There's so much stimulation now.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you for that, Adira.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions, by the way, for Ericka? Shoot them.
Yeah, this is a perfect time if you guys have any questions about it. And speaking of meditation, I like to meditate on my medical marijuana. I want to hear a little bit more about you and teaming up with Viola and what you're doing over there.
Wait, so you meditate? Or?
I do. I meditate. I know how to use
This is Viola on my messy dining room table that has become my office. This is Viola. That's the jar. That's what it looks like on the stands. But so Viola has we have flour, we have concentrates, and we have vapes. We are licensed in California, Oregon, Colorado, and recently Michigan. Medical dispensary in Michigan. So if you're ever in Detroit, stop by the Viola shop and grab you some goods if you are licensed to. You guys have a chance, you can go to the website and you can watch a brand film that I produced that kind of takes you through the Viola purpose, but it's a really impactful, powerful video. It's on violabrands.com. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
You feel like?
Oh, I was saying that I feel
No, please.
Like oh, okay. I was saying that I feel like there's like a negative stigma with marijuana, and I just feel like you teaming up with Viola could like change that whole stereotype of what African Americans think about it. You know, we have just one notation of it, and like, how do you feel like you can change the derivative of how people feel about marijuana?
Yeah, it's a great question. So part of our mission is purpose, right? We have a huge purpose-driven initiative that I launched this year called Viola Cares, and that is it includes education, entrepreneurship, expungement, and incubation. And so what that means is we want to educate African Americans on the efficacy of cannabis as a medicinal solution. We realize the taboos that have been placed, you know, almost 100 years ago now around the plant. And then we want to figure out ways to create opportunities for people to start businesses in cannabis, because 2021 is projecting a $22 billion return on the cannabis industry. $22 billion. And unfortunately, less than 1% of the ownership is African American. 4% of drug-related arrests in multicultural communities are cannabis arrests. So people have been imprisoned. People have been completely dismantled and disenfranchised for decades because of a plant that people are now becoming billionaires from. And it's just not fair. Part of it is lack of resources, lack of information, lack of access, and lack of capital. So what we want to try to do is create a space where we educate people on the efficacy of what cannabis can do for you as a medicine and a solution, but also the opportunities that are in this space so that you're not scared of it. Like if you're talented and you have a vocation that can contribute to this category, get in where you fit in, get some equity, get a job in a space that's burgeoning and become an expert. You know, because
the green rush?
The green rush. It's called the green rush. Because this is the next big wave of economy in this country. And if we don't get in now, like every other industry that we built in this country, including cotton, we're gonna be usurped out of it. So, you know, we have to open our minds a little bit, and Viola is working hard to create a lifestyle message that includes opportunities to expand Black people, to educate people on how to use the plant responsibly, and just to make some real headway. Like I think we're the largest multi-state vertical operator in the country, because we have farms that we grow the flower in, we have processing centers, we have distribution, and we have retail. And there are not very many companies that are African American held that do all those things in that many states.
Wow. I remember when I told you my mom, she had cancer, and the doctor had suggested it to her, you know, I think to help with the nausea or the pain. I forgot for what purpose.
It's the chemotherapy.
And then when my mom heard that it was marijuana, she was like, "Oh no, absolutely not! I don't want to take like she had like a very like a traditional, you know, negative."
She actually said, "No, I don't want to do drugs."
She's like, "I don't want to do drugs. I was like the doctor's saying it's gonna help you, like, you know, like it's gonna help you." And me and my brother tried to convince her, and you know, like she wouldn't take it, you know. So I wonder if there was more, I guess, education about, you know, how it is for medicinal reasons and it can help you, and the benefits, had she, you know,
been a little bit more easy
open to do something differently.
She would have been more open to it. But well, what's interesting is that, like I said, this company is named Al's grandmother, and The way that he tells the story, and you'll see it in the video, he basically, his grandmother suffers from glaucoma. And she was staying with him in Denver when he played for the Nuggets at the time. And he was like, Grandma, why do you have all these pills? All these things. And she was in so much pain one day. Her eyes were bothering, coma, plant-wise. And so he convinces her. And he's like, Ma, you need to try cannabis. And she's like, what is cannabis? And he was like, it's marijuana. And she goes, reefer? I'm not smoking no reefer. And like he said, he always says this. He says, if my grandmother's going to hell, we're all going to hell. So
that's
she's
what my mother's afraid of. Like God would punish her. That's bad. And now here I go trying to do drugs. Take me now.
Take me now, right? And so he says his grandmother tried this vape. He convinced her. She said, okay. She was in so much pain. She just gave it a shot. And again, it wasn't smoking. It was vaping. So she probably just registered as something different. He asked her to pull. She probably would have never done it, right?
Right.
But the way he tells the story is that he said that she pulled a little much. And so he was like, let her in. And he said he went to take a shower and he could check in on her to make sure she wasn't like blasted. And he said he was crying, and he was like, Grandma, like, what's wrong? And she's like, I can read the pages of my Bible. It's like, you're healed. Oh, hallelujah! It's a miracle. He's like, he didn't know any better, but her reaction to it was so, like, yeah. And he's like, it brought him to tears, and that's what made him say, you know what? There's something to this, and we need to get more of our people engaged and exposed to it in this way. And that's what that started his journey on the cannabis journey. And here we are, Viola, it's a multi-million-dollar company as a retired NBA player.
Wow. Your audio is a little bit delayed, so if we just
it's a great story.
What you're saying.
That's amazing. That's an amazing story. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. That's kind of the similar story that you have.
Can you guys hear me?
Okay. Yeah, we really enjoyed speaking with you. When are you coming back to New York? We would love to get together and have a real have a real.
Kira, you're invited to come on down.
Well, they gotta open outside up a bit.
Exactly. I can't wait.
I can't wait. What's the first thing?
I don't know. I'll be back as soon as COVID decides to leave us alone.
Okay.
For COVID after COVID.
Yes. You have any stores that are closed now that you're really anxious to go back to once everything opens up?
European Wax Center.
Yes. Oh, that's a whole nother life, a whole nother day. But I feel you, girl.
Yes, like my nails, I've never not had
I don't
nails.
shave. I'm too sensitive. I can't do it. So I just
it's down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, when I'm not on a Saturday live, I got the Aunt Jemima braids going on. And it's really relaxed over here. But Ericka, we have had a great conversation today.
Yes.
Love chatting with you. This was so amazing that we got the opportunity to just chat with you and pick your brain. And, you divulged so much to us today. And we just excited that, you sat down with us and took your time. Because I know you're busy. You got all your Post-it notes. I can just see it now, But we're just really excited that you took the time out to chat with us today. You want to say anything?
Yeah, don't forget to get Ericka's book. Ericka, you want to show them the book one more time? We'll also put a link.
One more time for the people.
Yeah,
one time for the people.
One time for the birthday book.
It's freezing up.
It's freezing up. They can't see
on
it.
Amazon.
Okay, Amazon. Yes. Yes. And it's called, guys, What Mama Never Told You.
And it'll show up. What Mommy Never Told You.
Just put in her name and you'll see it on Amazon.
Alrighty, thank you guys.
So guys, get it. And also, we'll be putting a link to Viola as well, so you guys can research it, get more information about it, and educate yourself on marijuana, because she is
the chief marketing person there.
Exactly.
And first African American chief marketing. Yes. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. Very nice.
That's right.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited about
Well,
that.
thank you, ladies, so
Yes,
much. Enjoy your holiday weekend, everyone. Okay. Thank you for joining. This was so much fun.
Yes. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
All right. See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.